Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. What I have for you today is Dank Hunt by Dank House Brewing Company out of, where are they out of? Newark, Ohio, I believe. I forget where they're out of. I probably should have looked. I don't know if it even says on the can. If it does, I'll mention it later. But I've done some beers of theirs before, and I'll make sure to list it down below in the comments. Now, over the weekend, at this point, it'll probably have been a couple weeks ago by the time this video comes out. But over the weekend, I went down to Columbus to help a beer day with TK move one of his daughters to a new apartment, which was a rough day. However, we were able to find a new beer store that neither one of us had heard of or knew about before. That's called the Beer Zone. It's in North Columbus, and this was a really good beer store. It's the first good beer store we found in Columbus, actually. And we were kind of overwhelmed by the amount of beers they had. They had so many different beers. They even had I think it was a 3-door cooler that was just European or foreign import singles. Never seen that before. That was awesome. And one of the beers I happened to see was this right here, the Dank Hunt from Dank House Brewing Company. And of course, as you can already tell by this amazing artwork, anybody that grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, you'd buy this immediately. I mean, that's exactly why I bought it. Because look at that. I mean, reminisces of Duck Hunt, one of the original Nintendo games. And that's so cool. That artwork is amazing. I didn't care what kind of beer this was. This could have been a can full of piss and I would have bought it for the artwork. So, on the can here, get into the can because a can full of piss just sounds disgusting. So let's get into this beer. On the can here, it says, in Dank House, we trust TRUSSD. Dank Hunt, Triple India Pale Ale. Hops, Citra, Maui Nelson, and Nectaron. I don't know what any of those hops are other than Citra. Peace and thank you. Keep cold, serve cold, recycle. Canned and brewed, Dank House Brewing Company in Newark, Ohio. I was correct. 10% alcohol. Wow, this is a big boy. Real big boy. On the bottom of the can here, there's a date. I don't know if it's a canned on date or a Best By date because part of it is ruined. It's smeared. But I can make out it says Quack. I think it says Quack, and it says 24. So at least it was brewed this year. I assume it was brewed relatively recently. It's interesting to see that this can here, I don't know if you can see it pick it up on the camera here, but it's a label over a different can, but it's got the "In Dank House We Trust" on the can itself, so it's just a different Dank House can. So that's kind of interesting. Unfortunately, when I got home from Columbus, I opened my truck door, and the beer fell out and damaged the top here, dented it all up. I was so disappointed with this beer because I really want to I'm still going to keep this can because it's such awesome artwork. And I paid $6.99 plus tax, which is probably a pretty good deal for a pint of 10% alcohol beer. So let's just get on into it. On Untappd, it gets a 4.48, but there's only 28 check-ins, which means there's nothing on Beer Advocate. Man, I started pouring that way too hard. Let's calm down a little bit. And this is another one of those very chalk white. I mean, that's super chalk white. Again, I don't even know if that's really on the SRM scale. I mean, I'll begrudgingly give it a 1, but it's like a chalkboard, like a chalk white. And that head is actually a chalky white head. It's not true white. And it's not eggshell either. It's just kind of got this, like, I guess it's like dirty white. Not quite eggshell, it's dirty white. When it's on the side of the glass, again, it's got those big, like, soapy bubbles. But up top here, it's just thick and dense. And there's like a sheen on top of it. It's just a really crazy looking head. As far as smell, I got hammered with hops the minute I opened it. Wow. That smells like, kind of smells like marijuana, basically. But what it really smells like is what is that beer? The 420 strain. What is that? Is it Sweetwater? Is it Sweetwater 420 or G13? It's the G13 strain. Whatever that beer is, I'll try to remember to put a picture of it up, figure out what that actual beer is, but that's what it reminds me of. It's like the G13 strain. I think it's Sweetwater, but it could be another brewery. I can never stop sticking my giant ass nose in the beer. I need some sort of like thing over it so I can get my nose down there, but stop myself from sticking my nose in it. Anyways, it definitely smells like that G13 strain, kind of similar to weed. I mean, anybody that's been to a concert, been out in public, especially if you're in some of these states that's been legalized now, you know that like acrid, dank weed smell. That's what it smells like. Enough about the nose. That head's just turned into big pillowy cloud-like chunks. Let's get on into this. Cheers, everybody. This might be a night ender. That's way lighter than I expected. The body starts out very watery, then kind of gets big and expands to almost like a medium body, then comes back down to like a wateriness again on the back end. That's very odd. Yeah, it goes through these stages of being super watery on the front, then gets real big, then finishes watery again. Very interesting. As far as flavor, it's kind of like what it smells. I mean, the best example I can give is like the G13 beer. It's got that dank weed kind of flavor. Flavors are very light and subtle, surprisingly. Nice, some fruity hops in there with that dankness. Just ever so slight kind of bitterness. No alcohol. No alcohol at all. If you handed this to me and told me this was a 5% alcohol beer, I'd 100% believe you. I'd put money on this as 5% or around there. There's no way this is 10% alcohol. And this is really good. Really, really good. What did this say? It was a Triple India Pale Ale? No way. This is delicious. Now, a lot of people are going to say that it lacks the body and the viscousness for a triple, but I think this is enjoyable. And if it's enjoyable, I'm not as concerned about the body. I know we talk about the body sometimes with some of these porters and styles that the body's too light for those. But I think with IPAs, if the flavors are right, the body can be a little lighter. And maybe I'm wrong. You can argue with me down below in the comments. But this is really nice. This is easy. This is crushable. This is super dangerous. And again, a lot of people will disagree with me. But if I'm drinking big IPAs, you usually get overwhelmed by the hops, the flavors, that syrupy viscousness, and then the body just comes back for the second punch. Which is probably some of the things I don't like about a lot of IPAs. This, it's not there. It's enough of a body to make it enjoyable, kind of creamy. Like I said, it's like watery to big to watery again. It's got this nice wave of flavor. Finishes nice, finishes dry, a little bit of bitterness. No idea it's 10% alcohol. This is an amazing beer. Whew. 2 big horns up. Can't believe I'm doing that. 2 big horns up for a Triple India Pale Ale. Dank House, you've knocked it out of the park with this one. Amazing artwork. Super bummed that I busted the can up, but at least it's only the can and the label's still good. This is excellent. I'd like to find some more of these just to send some people. I don't know if I'll ever see this again. This is Mal. Wow. It's dangerous. 4-pack could mess you up real quick. At $7 a beer, you get a pretty good buzz going for $14. So that's amazing. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you do, let me know down below. I'd ask you if you had Dank Hunt, but there's only 28 check-ins, so I'm guessing nobody out there ever has. And you know, I really didn't want to drink this. I was worried about it, but it's always an adventure. Turned out to be a great beer, and as always, embrace that adventure.